And welcome to the Bullet Hole Podcast. Today I'm Lyle Cadell, and normally we have all this gear around us, but today we're doing things just a little bit different. But glad to have you with us, but also glad to have Joel Hodgdon here. And
Thanks,
Joel
Lyle.
is you're coming into a new phase of life, and some new things are happening.
Sure.
You were with Federal.
I was.
Or you still are? How is that?
Still am.
Okay.
So while I work for Remington Ammunition, and I previously worked for Federal Ammo, but as you guys may have heard recently, Vista Outdoor, our parent company, that oversees all kinds of brands, everything from Camelback to Bell helmets, Camp Chef grills. Vista bought the Remington Ammunition business and brand. So I was recently moved over from Federal to Remington.
Okay. And so Remington has over the last couple of years there's a lot of history. There's a lot of history with Remington.
It is.
So,
since 1816.
yeah.
I mean, Remington's such a iconic American name in the industry, and I think everyone who's ever pulled a trigger, has heard of Remington or shot some of their products, some of their firearms, some of their ammo. And so, I know at Vista we're honored to be the new kind of owner of that legacy and that tradition, and something that we're excited to kind of reinvest into and then push forward.
And you guys just bought the ammo side.
You got it. Yeah. So that sale, and to give a little background there, the previous Remington company, as you mentioned, Lyle, had a rough couple of years, owned by different private equity groups, and kind of been through the ringer there. And recently, last fall, they were going through more financial problems, and so to satisfy their creditors, the courts came in and broke up the old Remington Outdoor Company, as they were called. And at that point, different buyers came into the process and kind of bought off different pieces of the old Remington company. So my company, Vista Outdoor, bought Remington Ammo. And then really important to me as a marketer, so I'm marketing director for Remington Ammo, our company also bought the Remington brand. So we kind of own and control Remington Green, the Remington logo, everything that you know and love and associate with Remington, that's under our wheelhouse and something that we're going to take care of. And so, Vista Outdoor bought the ammunition pieces and brand, and then some other familiar names bought other pieces. Ruger bought Marlin.
Yep.
And then a company called Round Hill came in and bought the firearms portion of Remington, and they're actually licensing the Remington name back from Vista Outdoor. So you're still going to be able to find your Remington 1100s, your Remington 700s. Round Hill's still going to manufacture those guns, those firearms. They'll still be out there.
And still in the facilities, too, that former Remington, now Remington 2.0, maybe we'll call it, owns. And you're going to be actually going down to Arkansas.
I will be, yep. So I'm moving out of Kansas City and going down to Lone Oak, Arkansas, which is close to Little Rock, and that's our ammunition factory. And they've been manufacturing ammo there since, I think, the early 70s, late 60s, somewhere in there.
So those jobs are not lost now?
No, and that's something that I'm really excited about. I come from a family business in the industry we've talked about before, and knowing the guy on the line making the product, physically manufacturing, I mean, it's super important to me to be able to keep those guys in their jobs. And right now I know we could all use more 9mm, right? Yeah. So we want those guys in there and we want them working.
What is the kind of status on that? For Remington? I mean, is there stuff? I mean, if you can say, is there stuff on the shelves that has actually been done? But because of the bankruptcy and everything and the sell-offs and stuff, it's just been sitting on the shelves, or is it all got to start over and
it's a mix, while
kind of gear up.
So first off, I should say, when I walked in the door right after the bankruptcy, when our company acquired Remington, they were down to a skeleton crew of 200 employees or less, and that's for a 1,200 acre facility that makes more ammo than just as much or more than any other plant in the country, right? So now we're going as fast as we can to hire 1,000+ people.
Oh, wow.
So we're well in that process, right? So we're moving from that 200, 1,000+. We're rehiring all these workers that were furloughed. We're bringing folks back to work, and I know I'm excited to get down there and be there every day and see that process happen.
Absolutely.
But to answer your question, no. I mean, throughout the bankruptcy process, the product was continuing to be made, continuing to be sold. You just saw a little bit less of it because there was more focus on, kind of cleaning up all the legal stuff than it was on selling the product. But, now our team at Vista's come in and is really excited to start selling this stuff again. So, as fast as we can get raw materials, we're making ammo.
Now, people understand that Vista Outdoors, and some people don't understand how this all works. Vista owns a myriad of companies. Mm-hmm. They own everything from, hobbies to I mean, there's a myriad of companies, and some of those companies are actually based right here in Kansas City. Bushnell, Simmons,
that's right,
are actually based here in town.
Yeah, Bushnell. As I mentioned, Bell helmets, Giro helmets.
Yeah.
Our root as a company is in the hunting and shooting sports, though. I mean, Federal, CCI, Spear, our ammunition groups, those are really the lion's share of our business. And so, we're not a private equity company. We're an ammo company at the end of the day. And that's what, we report out through Wall Street and everywhere else. And so for us to be able to come in and add such a iconic American ammo brand like Remington to that portfolio, I know, I'm not just in the industry, like I'm a hunter, I'm a shooter, and I feel better at night knowing that a company like Vista that understands us and guys like us in the Second Amendment is picking up Remington versus just some New York private equity group who just wants to make a dime.
So you guys can have more of a positive, really look, cup half full. I know 2021 is 2020 was something we is gone now, but we think we're reliving it maybe a little bit. I don't know, but with the ammo supply, ammo shortages, and everything else, you guys kind of can look at it with a glass half full because you're bringing on new people. You're literally going to be pushing in more ammo into the pipeline within months, I assume.
That's right. Once we acquired the business, our first order was getting the lights back on, getting the machines running again, and getting people rehired. So we went out and started resourcing all these raw materials that you need to make ammunition. Yeah. So, it's a question
you're able to draw from that federal side to CCI primers.
Yeah, so, yeah. I mean, there's some, and we can talk about that a while. There's some cool crossover there.
Yeah.
Between the different ammo businesses, I think that maybe on the back end, some technology we can.
That's what I was going to ask. I see the book out here too. I want to get to that in our next segment, actually, though.
Yeah, no problem.
So we'll get to that here in just a second. But so from your all's perspective right now, it's positive.
It's really positive. I mean, you think about the strides that the ammunition industry's made in technology over the past 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. We can kind of gain from that, right, and apply that to a brand like Remington. So let's say our facility in Lewiston is making primers lights out, and they're really good at that. Mm-hmm. We can use those primers and put them in Remington ammo in Lone Oak and get it out the door faster. So I think as an ammo customer, a consumer, a shooter, you should start to see more and more Remington products out the door on the shelf.
Awesome. Well, let's get into the catalog next when we get in the next portion of our talk today. So glad you joined us. I forgot to say, this is the Bullet Hole Podcast.
Here we are in the Bullet Hole.
And just to welcome you guys to the Bullet Hole Podcast. We're powered up by Custom Built Firearms Manufacturing, which is also based here in our corporate offices here at the Bullet Hole. Custom Built Firearms Manufacturing, of course, you'll be hearing a little bit about it if you're listening to the podcast. You'll hear a little bit about it during our break time. But if you're watching it, we have our entire line of ARs from AR-9s all the way up to AR-10s, AR-15s in between, huh? No, we have an entire line of ARs, and our tagline is Custom Built for Life. So come by and check us out. So if you're living in the Kansas City area, we also have dealers in Sedalia, Missouri, Manhattan, Kansas, and there's others that are coming online. So check out Custom Built Firearms Manufacturing. So we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to our second segment here with Joel Hodgdon. He's the marketing director for Remington Fire, and is it Remington? What
we just say Remington.
Okay.
So the company that I work for is just Remington Ammunition, and so eventually, hopefully, you can have some of the firearms guys here to talk as well.
Yeah. Awesome. So you have the product book here. For 2021.
I do. Hot off the press. This is actually a draft copy, so look for a real one pretty soon. But I will say too, if you guys want to find us and keep up to date with all things Remington, our website's the best place to do that. So
is it just Remington.com?
You got it. Just Remington.com. Okay. Of course, we're on all the Grams, all the Twitters, all the Facebooks, all that stuff. So find us there. But you'll be able to download a copy of our catalog online, and we do have some new products for 2021.
What are they?
So
we'll get there.
What I'm most excited about is our Wingmaster HD. So this was a load available a few years ago. Now we're bringing it back, and it's our take on the tungsten waterfowl loads. They're becoming increasingly popular. Great density, great stopping power. Yes, it's more expensive than steel, but it hits way harder. I think if you're going to only go out and hunt a couple of times a year, a couple afternoons, whatever that is, it's really worth stepping up to do a tungsten load. You won't be disappointed.
Okay. Now, I see on the rifle line you're doing this, that's kind of, 6.5 PRC, of course, is that's for the dudes out there doing PRS stuff.
The high caliber.
So it's 6.5 Creed.
We do. A couple new offerings with the Creed.
It's called the, what?
So this is our Premier Scirocco.
What's special about that?
Just a great projectile that I would say should be in your consideration set for a good, whitetail-sized game and up.
Okay.
It'd be a great load for your guys, and we're offering that in Creedmoor for the first time.
What grains does it generally come in?
I'd have to check for the new one. 130 grain.
Okay.
Is what the 6.5 Creedmoor is in. So
smoking then.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty quick. Great load too, and then some other kind of line extensions, as we'd call them, just brushing on our new calibers for sale. Our 450 Bushmaster we're bringing to the market for the first time in just the classic core locked. So great load for you whitetail hunters that want to run that 450 Bushmaster platform. Maybe one of your custom ARs, whatever you want to do.
Sure.
And then we're also going to offer the core locked in the 450 Bushmaster, and then with our UMC, kind of our FMJ range ammo line, we'll have a Bushmaster load as well.
As far as now, everybody's going to be concerned about the 9mm, 945 and 223, 556.
You got it. And
that's all going to be back on the line.
It's all back in there. New ownership, right? But the same green and yellow Remington box, it's not going away. The logo's not going away, and you're going to be able to find that product on shelf, I hope, really soon. And I should be clear to address the internet rumors. We're not selling ammo to China or Nancy Pelosi or anybody else, right? It's just it's hard in the age of COVID. Our supply chains are international, so a lot of our tungsten, lead, brass, it doesn't necessarily always come from the U.S. anymore, unfortunately. So we have to source some of these raw materials and get it made. We're looking out for the safety of our guys on the manufacturing line and gals. So, we have to kind of follow local laws and do things like socially distance and test and do things like that. So, the ammo is not being bought by the ATF. We're selling it, I promise, just as fast as we can.
Now, as far as on, is there anything coming out in defensive loads? Because of, Spear, Spear Gold Dot.
Oh, classic.
Federal HST. Those are classics. In fact, they're used by law enforcement, around the country, specifically Spear Gold Dot. Is there going to be some of that technology reach into Remington?
Yeah, you might see that. I shouldn't give away too much.
I won't ask you to, but I'm just wondering,
But I will say, our Golden Saber projectiles, another great load that it's not as popular as the Spear Gold Dot with
the 45. I've seen some really nice
solid.
stuff. 45.
Yeah, just a great projectile. Our Black Belt load is going away, so you won't see that one quite as much anymore. Yeah. But you will see Golden Saber staying around, and then potentially, if I can hint a little bit, maybe expanding in the future.
So in that Golden Saber line, that is a brass jacket rather than a copper jacket.
Correct.
I have seen some really good gel tests out of that stuff, so I'm curious about that. I know from the federal end and the Spear end, it's just interesting, that some of the bullets are crossed over. In fact, I used one of them to hunt with. I killed my deer this year with a Federal Fusion.
Okay, awesome.
Bonded 62 grain projectile that probably you can find in a Spear load as well. But so for home defense, if you run out of the spear.
Maybe check the deer section of the sporting goods store.
Check the Federal Fusion. Yeah. It'll work just fine to protect the home base. But I mean, to see shotgun ammo, I mean that's a big thing. I really like your guys' low recoil.
Okay, great.
The buckshot. The 8 pellet.
Yep.
There's and that's something that even the slugger.
Sure. It's classic as it is.
It is a classic, rifled slug, Foster, rifled slug. Mm-hmm. So those things are staying.
They're staying.
So.
And, we'll trim here and there, and in some cases, I think what you might not see just on the shelf or when you walk into Cabela's is, to your point, Lyle, some of the technology behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. So I mentioned earlier that example of using a spear or CCI built primer in a Remington load, right? Well, you might see some things like, our bullet construction, our R&D guys, we're all going to be comparing notes now. And so I'm really excited to see in the next 3 years, 5 years, what that product roadmap is going to look like and what kinds of things we'll be able to pull over and say, hey, Federal, you've got really strong technology here. Let's look at that in the Remington line, and vice versa.
That's cool. Anything else in the book that you can share?
No, I mean, I guess my message is we're just excited to be back.
Yeah.
We're excited to put American workers in Little Rock, Arkansas, and the surrounding area back to work.
Absolutely. Will they be using Hodgdon powder?
Well, that I cannot comment. But no, I hope they do. And that's one of those things too. That's another conversation.
Yeah.
But, no, you're good.
Yeah.
It's we're just excited to be back and to get Remington ammo back up and running. And like I mentioned, I mean, I grew up, shooting an 870, right, and just shooting these awesome firearms that you think of Remington, you think of an iconic American brand that's been around a couple hundred years plus, right? And so it's really an honor to get to work on that and be able to bring that back a little bit.
And it's exciting to see. I mean, and I hope Round Hill and and Ruker, when they took over Marlin and everything.
Wish them luck.
Yeah, I do. I'm excited to see what comes out of there.
And I should mention too, Lyle, so it's not what I work on every day, but we also did buy, we being Vista Outdoor, bought Remington's accessories line of products.
Which would include?
In the acquisition. Things like Rem Oil.
Really?
Rem Snake.
We carry that here in the store.
There you go. Both? Great. Yeah, awesome products, right, that have been in the market a long time and have got a great following. Still definitely do the job. And so, we saw some value in that as a company, and we wanted to hang on to those products.
What about a clothing line?
So, things like clothing, cutlery, heck, Remington, has licensees that do things like truck tires, rims, with boxes, all kinds of things.
Wow.
Yeah, if you want to hook up, let me know. Those Remington rims they're pretty slick. So.
And you guys.
Well, what we do is indirectly. So since we own the brand, we can now work with licensees or other partners who be able to make a really quality product. Because end of the day, we're ammo guys. We make ammo. You don't want us making your tire rims, right? You don't want us making your spatulas or whatever else it is. But with a brand like Remington, I think we fit so well into so many aspects of the outdoors that if we can partner with a really good company to make a quality, tent or a really quality shooting rest or whatever that is, let's do that.
Sure, and put the name on it.
You got it. Yep.
So I think once again, we sell a lot of Remington stuff here in the store. You can go with get Rem Oil right as we speak right now, and hopefully soon we'll be seeing some ammo, more ammo. Remington. We do still have some Remington ammo over there. But more and more as we see the day approaching. Hope for that and look forward to it.
Yeah,
and knowing that the year ahead of marketing is a settling thought, I should say. And it's just cool, and it's good it was sad for those of us that are in the industry when you see a company like Remington have to go through tough times like they did as a whole and then split up. That was hard, and a lot of people are still, kind of really kicking it, and saying, well, they put out, bad firearms and bad QC and all this type of thing. It's under new ownership, and as far as, and I don't think I've ever had bad ammo. I've shot, Remington.
Happens. Sure.
UMC was like, the upper middle class,
Yeah, upper middle class. I like that.
It's good ammo. I did for years in the 357.
Yeah.
that was that was what I shot. So,
great FMJs, TMJs, just solid range ammo.
Yeah, and on the I don't think I've ever ran in 9mm or anything. Golden Sabers, if I can remember. Maybe I did, and I forgot about it. But I have ran for range ammo, countless times. Never had a problem.
Well, and I'm glad to hear that. So, and with the thousands and soon to be millions of rounds that we're going to be making a day, you never know when something's going to happen. But I will say to your point about firearms customers having problems with their firearms, that's one thing I've seen online. Folks that might need a new part. Folks send in their old firearm for help to the old company, and so if you go on our website, there's like a little piece of content there that gives you a phone number for both our ammo quality service guys and for the folks the new owners that bought the Remington firearms portion.
Okay.
So if you have a question, a concern, feel free to call. Definitely let us know. I know that from all of us on the marketing team and at Remington Ammo, we want to know what's going on with our products and what you guys are hearing and seeing. And so if something happens, let us know. And conversely, if you guys have a problem with Remington firearm, I'm sure the folks at Round Hill with those new owners will want to hear about it.
Yeah. Well, man, it's been great to have you. And, if there's anything else you want to add, feel free to. But, as far as questions, I'm kind of out right now. And maybe if you guys, we're going to pop this up on our YouTube channel. If you have questions, make sure down below in the comments section to go ahead and ask them. Please don't air your grievances against Remington on our YouTube channel.
That was the old company.
Yeah.
Old guys.
Make sure you do that. But it's exciting to see Remington specifically here with ammo back online again, and we'll look forward to good things coming out of Arkansas.
You got it.
So
coming out of Arkansas, we've got a new website and some new marketing, some new ads coming out really soon. So we're excited to kind of get the brand and get Remington ammo out there.
Maybe we can make a trip down there.
You should. Yeah. When
that would be awesome to be able to come to the factory and get it.
It is just amazing, to walk into a room and see lead and steel and brass and whatever else roll into one side, and then little 223 or whatever, roll out the other side. So it's pretty special.
We've had the opportunity to do that with some other companies, and it really is to see the production, on a mass scale is really fascinating. And I know that you've been with Federal, and people have kind of punched back, said, well, you guys aren't producing enough and all that type of thing. But I know your boss, prior boss, Jason. But it is
same boss, actually.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So all of us ammo groups are going to roll.
Yeah. They've been working 24/7 as far as I know.
We have. We've.
So it's trying to get it out there during the shortage.
That's right, and I think that's a good message to get out too. It's
Oh, I have one more question.
Yeah.
Remington
please.
Thunderbolt.
The 22s?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it going to be around?
Yep. I have not seen that on a discontinued list so far, so you're safe, Lyle. I'll let you know.
I grew up on Remington Thunderbolt, man. Come on,
I will say that packaging might need a little bit of a facelift.
Okay. I'll agree to that.
Give me a little leeway there. I'll see what I can get done for you. But no, it's a great 22, and for sure, we're excited.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, great to have you.
Thanks, Lyle, as always.
That was good. Joel Hodgdon, Remington Ammunition. Go check it out at Remington.com. Come check us out at thebullet.hole.com. And if you're listening, go check us out again at thebullet.hole.com. And then coming soon, you'll be able to check custom built firearms out online as well. So there's some good things coming out of here. But no, until next time, always remember, protect, compete, and learn. Right here at the Bullet Hole. And stay in touch. Stay apprised of what's going on, too, here on the Bullet Hole Podcast. Until next time, take care.